Hey, everybody out there in social media land or wherever you're checking out this video. This is the Big Guys Biz Show with myself, Noel Polanco, and my favorite, Mike Stout.
That's me.
Today, we've got Brandon Collins with Brandon AI Consultants. So, going to try not to make too many Terminator references, but everybody wants to know what's happening with Skynet and AI and when Mike and I are going to get it replaced, how to utilize AI in your business or using it for marketing tasks. What are you doing? That's what I need to know, and I bet you need to know too. So that's why we have Brandon here, but I'm not sure what his exact specialty is. So Brandon, tell us what you know about AI.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you for the introduction. So what I do with AI is I go into companies and I provide kind of like that strategic overview of how they can implement AI into their business. So it's not just one software that I'm promoting. It's not just one aspect of their business that I help them with. I go in and I look and I see exactly where we can put AI into any part of their operation. And if it means getting a software that performs a specific service, or if it means creating a software, then that's something that I can do as well.
So you can customize a software like specific to their processes?
Yeah, I can customize the software and program the AI accordingly with that software.
So Mike and I both obviously use specific softwares. Me, different stuff for property management. It's got a whole platform, and then we use a software called Casual that kind of helps with the processes. Mike's got his whole tenant and background screening stuff. Are you able to use AI to tie into an existing software, or is that kind of limited based on what people have?
Possibly. It depends on how the software is coded and whether or not they have an open source API. If they have an API, then we can tie right into it and start doing stuff.
So I hope that makes sense for people out there that are listening, because that went right over my head. But
Brandon, how long have you been working for those three-letter agencies we don't talk about?
Yeah. Oh man, no. I was in the military for 8 years, but I've never been part of any. I've never been part of any agency. I don't know. I don't like working for the man that much.
My son's an active Marine, and it's not his favorite thing being told what to do, but he's a good grunt. He's a good one. What branch are you in?
I was in the Army.
Okay, awesome. Very cool.
Thank you.
My son says Army means aren't ready to be Marines yet. What do you guys call them?
I mean, cannon fodder. I don't know.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So back to business. So are you helping people? So you're more on the process implementation side, not we're talking to a gal next week who specializes in AI specifically for like marketing and doing responses for stuff like LinkedIn and those things. So it sounds more like what you focus on is figuring out how to help the admin part of the office. Am I getting that right?
Kind of, yeah. The operations part of it. If it's, so I have access to and know of a ton of software. So whatever software that this next guest of yours is using, I've probably heard of it and I probably know exactly what it does. But it depends on the needs of the business. And before I started providing the services that I provided, I was more or less just trying to promote these different types of softwares and occasionally program AI specifically for whatever purpose that a business needed. But ultimately, I've turned into like, hey, I don't want to just promote a software anymore. I want people to bring me into their team so that I can help on all aspects. Because sometimes it might be a great software and it could really help, but they don't have other things in their business set up correctly for them to really get the most out of the softwares that I refer to them. And that's something I can do. When I come in, I can identify that.
So your expertise is kind of you.
Yeah.
You'd be able to identify what these things are that are missing and how to implement, et cetera, right?
Exactly.
Sorry,
No, that's a perfect comment. What are like some examples? So I'm in like a networking group, right? And a lot of people are just starting out, or they're really good at being a pool guy, but they suck in the office and they're trying to figure out, so I sell virtual assistants as well. So I can help them get another body to do stuff, but I don't think people really understand yet how they can have AI do what you're talking about and and jump in and combine some softwares. Can you kind of give us like the layman's version of maybe a couple of softwares that you see a lot and
so
getting attacked by a panther?
one of the ones that a lot of people are really like and use is a software that basically turns your Facebook profile into an AI DM setter.
Okay.
So you can put people into lists, you can put your target clients into lists, and then the AI will go out and message them. And when they respond, the AI continues that conversation and leads them towards whatever your marketing goal is. So whether it's going to a landing page or booking a call or buying a low ticket product or service, that software is really good. That software actually goes hand in hand with another software that scrolls through your Facebook feed and reads your comments, or no, I'm sorry, not reads your comments, reads the posts and then comments on those posts at scale. So a lot of times I'll start my day and I'll just turn this thing on for 2 to 3 hours, and my profile will have commented on 30 to 40 different posts.
Wow.
And that takes your algorithm and takes it to the roof. And that way, that when you post something, a lot more people see what you're posting on your profile.
Okay, so I need that from you. So we'll discuss that after. Again, in my networking meeting today, we were literally talking about, we all went through the room, made sure that we made each other friends on Facebook. We all liked the most recent comment and then, or most recent post, and then made a comment to kind of help some of these people figure out that that's really what you need for the algorithm, is to see interaction, right? So if you got a tool that can do that for you, man, that'll keep me from scrolling through squirrel videos and the Queen Creek tops that pull people over. I like watching those, but not be a productivity killer if you've got it doing for you, right?
Yeah. That's one thing I love about it. Every time I can find a tool or use AI in a different way to get some of my time back, so I can work on the things that actually help me grow my business.
Sure.
That's what I love to see, and I like bringing those solutions to businesses as well. I have the exact same, I would say the exact same software, but it's a similar software that does the same purpose on LinkedIn too.
Okay.
So there's a lot of softwares out there that exist, and making or referring the software isn't the only thing that I do. It's identifying where they can bring AI into their operations. So I mean, there's some people.
Give us maybe like an example of a most recent client. Like what did you change for them that that was a big need?
What I changed for them that was a big need.
Well, how did you implement AI into like a recent client, so I can kind of make people understand, because we're kind of talking about solutions and how you can make it work with processes. But I think, at least in the conversations I have, people can't really grasp it because they're not hearing a specific example of what it's doing. That Facebook one was a great example. Do you have something else like that?
Yeah. So there was a client, he's a coach, and he was struggling with outreach, and he was struggling with getting more exposure. So I referred him pretty much every software that I know of that works for Facebook, the one that does outbound DMing, the one that does the commenting. I even gave him the software that's on this video right here, this Fathom AI software that records your calls, gives you a transcript, gives you a summary of the call as well. And then from there, I programmed a AI or a GPT that he could then submit those transcripts and those summaries to, and it provides him kind of with like a game plan for how to work with that client after each call.
So for somebody that all of what you just said, like I said, is over my head, you're going to help implement and show them how to use it, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Awesome.
Working with another client right now that wants to build an app to help him with doing charting. He's a doctor, with doing charting for a very specific type of treatment that is difficult to get insurance to pay for. So I'm going to develop an AI that spits out exactly what insurance needs to see based on the treatment in order for him to get paid by insurance.
Wow, that's super cool. My wife would love that. My wife's a nurse, and the hospital she's at now, their technology is way old school versus when she used to be at Honor Health. So I could totally see that coming in. Where do you see AI going in the short term. I mean, we all think it's going to take over the world in about what, 4 or 5 years, but is this kind of for business? I think people are scared it's going to take people out of jobs. I think it's just going to make people's jobs easier so they can solve problems and not be doing all of this, for lack of a better term, grunt work that a computer can do, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as a society, we've gone through the ebbs and flows of new waves of technology. And yet, unfortunately, when new technology is created and implemented, some of the people that use and made a business and a life out of the old technology, that's going to go away. And my response to that is, start using AI, start learning how to implement AI, start learning how to leverage AI for what you are currently doing, and then you're going to stay relevant and you're not going to lose your job.
So like, I feel like sometimes I can tell when it's a bot talking to me, and sometimes it's a little bit harder to tell. Like specifically back to the Facebook thing, I've been seeing some messages and stuff come to me that I feel like, okay, that's somebody's got a software working for them. What are some of the best, like, easy tips? Is it just like creating a good script, or you having the AI, like you said, dig through the notes and pull out how you talk? Like, how do you set up a good conversational, bot or chat GPT type system?
For the viewers and the listeners here, I'm happy to provide an actual tutorial that I made that makes AI sound just like you.
Awesome.
It's a step-by-step process. You have to take a personality test. Those results have to be included in it. I'm actually, one of the things I was working on today was basically just creating a form that you can fill out. And after you click submit, your personality prompt tag is emailed to you. You put that prompt tag in front of or at the end of every time you prompt AI, and the output will sound just like how you would talk.
Interesting.
Wow.
I would love for AI to have my voice and look like Jean-Claude Van Damme from like 1987.
Let's go.
Well, that is very cool. So do you think, I mean, I guess kind of any business can use it. It'd probably be better if you're helping somebody that hasn't set up a bunch of process and systems that they've really got a feeling and a love and an appreciation for. It's probably easy if they're ground floor, but it sounds like you could come in and help them kind of toss some of the dinosaur stuff and jump in the new Corvette, right?
Yeah. One of my favorite things to do is go into businesses that have AI and make that AI better. Because it all comes down to the prompting and the training data for the AI. And if you don't know what you're doing, if you just kind of threw something together and you're like, okay, it's working. Well, it could be working a lot better if somebody came in and gave it what it needs to see while it's processing, so that it makes itself more efficient for you.
So Mike and I are both kind of attached to property management and real estate rental sides. Mike's on the screening side. I'm on the management side. I know that a lot of property managers would love to implement an AI that would help distinguish, set up, and open work orders on maintenance requests. Mike, what kind of stuff could you use it for?
I have a question for you. This is unrelated, but do you have write some AI that can get one of our Facebook pages unbanned from Facebook because the person that was developing it for us got us banned for no reason?
Oh no.
I didn't think so. Worth a shot.
Unfortunately, no, man. I actually have an ad account that got banned or disabled like 2 years ago, and I've been fighting it for 2 whole years, and I haven't been able to get it. Facebook is like, you might as well just create a new page, man.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to talk about ivermectin, right? It'll get you in trouble.
Yeah, apparently.
Oops.
Well, that is very cool. So if you're already in a business, you've got outdated software, or you're just starting and kind of want to figure out where this is going. I think you're totally right. Like I tell people all the time, if you're not using a virtual assistant now, you're going to wish you did 3 years from now. Because by then you could have already grown a lot easier by just having more people on your team, and you could have done it at a lower cost. I think AI is a virtual assistants. A lot of people are starting to figure out. AI is something that people really, really want to figure out. And I just don't think it makes a lot of sense to a lot of people. I haven't really, besides you, I haven't really talked to a whole lot of people that really have a great grasp on, besides just a chat bot, what they can do with it, right? So for anybody in sales, it's great that you can respond to leads or do like some digging, like you said, in some of the social platforms, send out messages, but there's so much more, I think, within the office and process stuff that I think is going to be really cool. And somebody like you that can help set that up, I think is a real advantage and
Yeah.
a key partner to add.
For
You
sure.
operate anywhere, correct? I'm guessing.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
might turn around.
I don't actually live in the States. I live in Mexico with my wife.
Okay, good for you.
So yeah, I mean, I
So you
do
can absolutely go wherever you need to, virtually.
Yep.
Good.
Mhm. So
And that's your backyard, I'm supposing we're looking at now.
you know, I live about 25 minutes away from a beach that looks just like this. So
Nice.
that's why I like having it in the background. It kind of makes me like feel like I might actually be there.
So what is the best way to engage with you? I'm sure you've got like an onboarding process. Do people just reach out and set up a introductory call?
Yep, it just starts with a connection call, and we kind of just go over what you're looking for. I'll if I can think of stuff on the fly like I usually can about how I can help you, I'll tell you how I can help you, and then we go into you know, the process of getting me hired on for work. I like to call my services Fractional Chief Artificial Intelligence Officer services.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not just promoting a software. I'm coming into your business and I'm giving you that strategic overview of how you should be implementing AI.
Well, that's really key. Like I said, for any of my property management people that watch this one, we all use one of the 4 or 5 main softwares, right? But some of us have add-on stuff that some people are using, other people are not, or using a separate tool, even just inspection software. There's a couple different ones. So, but we all do the same type of work. So it sounds like you could jump in and whatever they've got, kind of figure out how to tie them together.
For sure. Yeah, in property management, I can already think of a couple ways to use AI for that. So that'd be really
Well, I
fun.
mean, the old problem was we always just threw more bodies at it because there's literally 100 things we might do in a day as property managers, and you need enough people to handle them. But I feel like a lot of this stuff that is so repeatable, and it doesn't really take a brain, it takes an action, right? So somebody's got to hit the key, somebody's got to open the work order, somebody's got to send the message, whatever. If you can have the software, the AI doing that for you, it'll save a lot of time.
Yeah,
and money.
yeah, absolutely. For
Good.
sure.
So guys, Brandon Collins, Mike, did you have any more questions?
I don't think so.
I want to know what Mike's personality profile is, so make sure you send him that.
One thing I want to touch on, because I know
Sure.
like one of the first things you guys said is like, hey, in 5 years, it's all, AI is going to take over, Terminator, Skynet, Matrix kind of stuff. There was a recent thing that just came out. I think it was the beginning of this week, where pretty much all of the AI conglomerates, the OpenAIs, the Googles, Microsoft, they all basically signed an agreement that says that they're going to put in safeguards, and
kill
by
switch?
safeguard, they mean kill switch
Yeah.
for the AI, just in case of it. And they actually called it a Terminator scenario. So
Jesus.
that's something that made me feel pretty good. Hopefully they actually do put that in place, because the way that AI is advancing, there's a lot of executives that are working at these big AI conglomerates, and some of them are scared. They've come out and said that they're scared with how fast it's
Well, I mean, all you got to do is, if it's going to make a lot of people a lot of money. So if you've got somebody that's willing to chase the money and doesn't care about the safeguards, that's, I think, what scares people, right?
Yes.
Yep.
But I feel like, can't we just unplug the data center? I don't know how it works. there's got to be an unplug button somewhere.
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
let
what
you
they're
do
talking about. They want that kill switch just in
Yeah.
case something happens.
Well, this is May 30th, 2024. And I think Joe Rogan just had 2 AI guys on last week that were talking about that exact thing. So it's good that they're figuring that out, but I don't think robots are going to chase me down, but I do think AI can probably help me work a lot easier.
Both of us. All of
So
us.
if you are, I'll try to wrap it up again, just because we try not to run
about
these
that.
things too long. So people, no, it's great. The more info you have, people don't want to get on here to hear me talk. So guys, Brandon Collins with Brandon AI Consultants, you see his info here. I think it's a must to at least have a chat with them and see what you're missing and how you can implement this into your business. And Mike, as always, I appreciate you. And Brandon, thanks, man, for well, maybe it was your bot that said, "Hey, I do podcasts," and I was like, "Yeah, do mine." So that's how I found you on Facebook. So maybe your app was working.
Possibly. I think it probably was me, though. I've been trying to get my name out there a little bit more. So
I totally believe you. Totally believe you.
totally believe.
Well, awesome, man. You're a very cool guest. We're doing another AI one on our next one. So interested to see what her spiel is, but you're definitely doing something that is, I like that you're calling it AI consultant, because it's exactly what it is. And if you're out there watching this, guys, check them out, give them a call, and let's implement some AI into your business. Thanks again.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Brandon.
Yep.
All right.